Hey my friend, every day stand guard at the door of your own mind. But what does that actually mean? It means you should care about what you think about. Whether you are right now absolutely happy or down and out, I think you can all relate to the fact that life has its peaks and valleys. And sure, depending on your individual conditions, these valleys can be long and deep or short and fast. But in the end, it is safe to say that the negative is as much part of life as the positive. And certainly in our lives, we all had moments of negative thinking, worrying, doubting, and fearing. But unless it was a permanent condition, we were able to overcome it. But I am sure you know people who live by that, to worry, fear, and doubt everything. It is a choice of life actually, a habit, you might even say a clinical condition. What you think about all the time will manifest itself in your life. But pessimism, worrying, doubting, and fearing is a thinking pattern you can actually change. You see, it all comes down to the way we train our brains to function. We all know the famous analogy of the glass which is half full and or half empty, resembling the two perspectives. One only focuses on the things you got, therefore the glass is half full. The other is only concerned about the things you don't have. Hence, the glass is always half empty. And in this context, Jurrivh famously said, when pessimism comes to your mind, you have to educate it, because pessimism is stupid. And he couldn't be more right about that. Because what pessimism fails to realize and understand is that the glass is not only half empty, it is also half full. It wants you to believe and think only about the fact that the glass is half empty. Only emphasizing the negative, the problem, the risk. Never appreciating and acknowledging the things you have and that you can be grateful for. It is a mentality that literally becomes blind for the valuable things you have in your life. Pessimism also fails to understand that by repeatedly enforcing this pessimistic thinking pattern, it will create and build the conditions in your life which it ironically worries about. When our mind is only envisioning the negative, it has no time to envision the positive possibilities. Some people might believe that they are incapable of changing the way they think, but they are sadly mistaken. Your thoughts are up to you. We can take control of our thinking patterns by consciously identifying the moments when we only think negatively, when Mr. Pessimism takes over. That's when we need to remind ourselves and build a habit that whenever we think negatively and think and believe the glass is half empty, we need to tell ourselves and remind ourselves the truth that the glass and our life is also half full. And it is not so easy that we just tell ourselves, my life is also half full. No, we have to be concrete and precise. We have to clearly see and reflect the things, the specific things in our lives that we can be truly grateful for. And once we find them, we have to remind ourselves in these moments about these things. This simple technique breaks the negative cycle we sometimes end up in, or maybe even perhaps are locked in permanently. It will recalibrate our evaluation patterns and help us to focus more on the things we have than the things we don't have. Funny enough, the truth of the matter is, positive thinking, negative thinking, both are true at the same time. The glass is always half empty and half full. The thing is though, focusing the negative has obvious devastating consequences. But it is important to say that focusing only the positive and ignoring the negative is also not the optimal solution. We can simultaneously focus and manifest the positive and not ignore, but understand and respect also the negative, because both information, both perspectives are true, and we can learn from them equally. So whether your glass is half empty or half full, it doesn't really matter anymore. Because once we educate our mind that both are equally true, and we find peace and acceptance with it, pessimism loses its power, and we are one step closer to our potential. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, you can subscribe right here, and if you want to watch another one, you can click right here. I'll see you in the next one. Much love.